So it's two things. A lot of my friends I grew up with, they're actually currently incarcerated. And when you know somebody personally, you know they're not bad people.
Yeah.
Some people make mistakes.
Right.
It kind of hurt me, honestly. It hurt me bad, just knowing that that person was a part of my life when I was going through something. So to see me out here now and then, that happened, it just is heartbreaking.
Breaking news, and when I say breaking, I mean shattering your screen, grab your popcorn level chaos. Because what if I told you that the rap world's most beloved good guy, Lil Baby, just dropped a bombshell so explosive it practically melted the internet? What if I told you he finally revealed the truth behind the night his best friend, entrepreneur, millionaire, and certified neighborhood hero Chad Dillion was taken out in what fans are calling the cleanest hit since Netflix canceled everyone's favorite show for no reason? Yeah, you heard me. Baby didn't just speak, he confessed, he exposed, he pointed fingers sharper than a TikTok comment section at 3 a.m. He claims his OWN crew, the unstoppable, untouchable, family forever 4PF's, might have been involved. The same crew that swore loyalty, unity.
Some of these guys are really good guys that made one mistake. These people still have skills, they still have talent, they still have a lot of knowledge, and they're still creatives. And we don't want to forget about our creatives.
Unity, and maybe a little light arson on weekends, but WHY? What pushed Baby to finally crack after years of silence? And what did he mean when he said, if they wanted war, they're about to get one? Stay tuned, because this is where loyalty dies, and revenge is born. Lil Baby's scandal did not begin with a single moment, but with a chain of events that had been simmering beneath the surface for years. A pressure cooker of loyalty, ego, ambition, and betrayal. And it all started long before Chad Dillion ever stepped into the world of flashing cameras and hood legends. Back in the early days, when Baby was still navigating the rough corners of East Haven trying to survive on talent, instinct, and questionable decisions, 4PF's was nothing more than a group of hungry young men searching for a way out. And with that desperation came the kind of street-level creativity that kept law enforcement awake at night. They built their name, their influence, and eventually their kingdom. But it came with shadows that followed them everywhere. Then
Lil Baby opens up a seafood restaurant in the middle of his old neighborhood.
City. And why that is important, because beginning of this restaurant this day, the owners thought it was very important to start right here on the streets of the neighborhood in which he grew up in, to come back to provide economic opportunity and job to the people, his friends, his neighbors.
Then Chad arrived, the clean-cut business genius from a different world entirely, a man who was flipping cars in college, building a rental empire by graduation, and walking into East Haven with ambition bigger than the skyline. He believed he could help the community. He believed he could work with Baby to turn chaos into opportunity. And, most dangerously, he believed he could help polish the image of 4PF's into something respectable. According to people close to the situation, that belief alone made him both valuable and vulnerable. When Baby and Chad launched the Sea Flame Kitchen, the neighborhood celebrated it as a symbol of hope, a chance for affordable food, jobs, and local pride. But behind the scenes, power struggles were stirring. Arguments about money, control, branding, and who truly owned the vision started to grow louder. Then everything took a sharp turn when a random customer posted a viral video mocking the restaurant's food, calling it the saddest seafood on the planet. And the clip exploded across social media with millions laughing, roasting, and dragging the place harder than a reality show reunion. The restaurant collapsed in weeks, the partnership strained, and insiders say some members of 4PF's quietly blamed Chad for embarrassing the crew on a global scale. They never said it publicly, but their silence had weight. The kind of silence that feels cold, sharp, and intentional. That silent tension kept growing, spreading through the crew, cracking the trust between Baby and Chad until it became clear that something darker was beginning to form in the shadows. Tension that had been quietly building inside 4PF's exploded in ways nobody could have predicted, and what started as whispers and sideways glances quickly escalated into a full-blown storm of suspicion, betrayal, and rumors that spread through the streets like wildfire. And according to anonymous sources close to the crew, there were heated meetings, late-night arguments, and secret conversations, where loyalties were questioned and old friendships were weighed against ambition and survival, while Baby, still trying to keep the peace, found himself trapped in a web he could not control, and Chad, unaware of the growing animosity, continued pushing forward with plans to expand the restaurant concept and invest in community programs, unaware that the same people he trusted were quietly plotting. And as weeks passed, the atmosphere became electric with tension. Every smile and handshake loaded with hidden meanings, and the crew that once moved as a unit began to fracture under the weight of resentment and fear, while social media amplified every small misstep, every slight, every rumor, creating a narrative that painted the partnership as doomed from the start. And fans, followers and online commentators jumped into the chaos, speculating endlessly, creating hashtags, viral threads and memes that transformed real tensions into a spectacle for the world to consume. And in the middle of all this, Chad kept working, meeting investors, planning events, and trying to maintain the image of normalcy, unaware that outside forces and internal pressures were converging on him in ways that would change everything. And sources say that a night that began like any other ended with a series of events so shocking that the neighborhood, the city and the internet could not stop talking about it. And in the aftermath of that night, the questions began piling up. The conspiracies ran wild, and people began connecting dots that may not even exist. But the damage was done. The cracks in 4PF's were exposed, and Baby, facing pressure from all sides, found himself forced to make decisions that would redefine his crew, his loyalty and his future, while rumors of revenge, retribution and a brewing conflict spread across the city and online communities debated endlessly, every scenario more dramatic than the last. And what remained clear was that the events that night had set off a chain reaction, changing everything that people thought they knew about the crew, the partnership, and the fragile trust between two men who started with ambition, hope, and a vision, and now found themselves in a situation where every move counted, and no one could be trusted completely. So now the question is, what happens next, and who really comes out on top in this tangled web of loyalty, betrayal, and ambition? Will Lil Baby rise from the ashes of this chaos and reclaim control? Or has the damage already been done and the cracks in 4PF's too wide to ever repair? Are we about to witness a full-blown street war disguised as a power struggle? Or will the truth quietly slip under the radar while rumors continue to explode online? And what about Chad Dillion and the legacy he tried to build? Is it going to be remembered as a symbol of hope or just another casualty in a game nobody fully understands? You have to ask yourself, who really holds the cards? Who is pulling the strings behind the scenes? And how much of what we see is real versus carefully orchestrated drama meant to keep everyone guessing? The streets are buzzing, social media is lighting up, and the questions are piling higher every second. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Baby will strike back? Will 4PF's fracture completely? Or is this just the beginning of something even bigger and more explosive? Drop your theories in the comments, make your predictions, and don't forget to hit that like button if you want to see the next chapter unfold, because trust me, this story is far from over and you do not want to miss what comes next.